You wonder why he's a specimen. We are on Frame Train, Inside Feed Punters Club, back for Randwick Guineas Day and Australian Cup and Newmarket Handicap. Huge weekend of racing. Frame Train, you're heading down to get your ass trackside in Sydney, which you do with your annual pilgrimage down there. And I know you've got a few winners for us in Sydney, so I'm looking forward to that. How are you travelling? You good?
Mate, I'm good. Can't wait till 12:40 Saturday afternoon. Get me trackside. Randwick, going to be slumming it in the hospitality area, getting waited on hand and foot. Great day's racing.
Are you going to be standing next to Lizzie Jolfs in the mounting enclosure, just doing the running the eye over the horses?
Yeah, I'll tell her what to tip the punters into.
Yeah,
I'll be in there telling her what looks good.
Frano live in Sydney on Saturday. Righto, Frame Train. Last weekend, I can't remember how we all went. I know I backed Very Elegant, and that Scorched Earth in Adelaide was freakishly good.
Scorched the earth. Killed them.
Didn't it? But I think it was a negative. Certainly didn't back Lunar Fox in the Australian Guineas, for fuck's sake. So we live to fight another day, but did have a good midweek multi just to get some fucking wind in the sails. So hopefully hit this weekend with a bit of momentum, Frame Train. Now you did tell me beforehand that you've got nothing in Brisbane for Saturday. And I found it fucking ridiculously hard as well. So I'm just having the one bet in Brisbane on Saturday. And that'll be in race 7. I think it's race 7 at Eagle Farm. One for Chris Waller that's second up. It's definitely short of its best trip, but I'm just making sure it's race 7 while I stall here for a moment. Race 7 in Brisbane. Number 1 on Saturday, Master Shahud. This horse has been running around in really competitive races, really good races in Melbourne. It's got form around, I wrote this down before, but have completely forgotten it. It's got form around a horse by the name of Yonkers that won last week, beat My Best Bet Great House. Second up, 1,805 metres, I think it is short of its best trip, and it might need third up 2,000. But at $21 with Michael Rod on board, I'm just going to bank on it, enjoying the open straight or the big open spaces at Eagle Farm. And so I'll go race 7, number 1, Master Shahud at 20-1 is my only bet in Brisbane for the weekend. It's fucking tough in Brisbane, I reckon. So that will be one. Sorry, mate.
Bit of rain around Eagle Farm.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think it might be pretty sunny from here on in. I think that most of the rain's gone, but John Schluter has been wrong before. Great racing in Melbourne, Frame Train, Newmarket Handicap and Australian Cup. What have you found for us at Flemington on Saturday?
Just the one bet at Flemington. Australian Cup, tough race on paper. I think 440 to field. Few that have every chance here, but I think at the price, door, I'm going to be all over it at 17 and 480. Chris Waller, Damien Lane gets a barrier that is probably going to go back from, which is good. Hopefully doesn't get the rail and can be a few pairs back, just truck into the race. Bit of speed at the front as well. Homesman, Harlem, couple others, and I hope it's just a genuine, and Miss Siska's in it as well, so it'll be a genuine tempo up front, and I just hope it can get in some clear running. Finished off well first up, like a good fourth. Going to 2,000 metres second up might be a query, but like I said, best trainer, one of the best jockeys, a genuine weight for age champion. Maybe its best is beyond itself, but $17 480 I'm playing.
I'll never forget when I thought Humidor was going to beat Winks in the Cox Plate that year. What was it, 2017 or 18 when he loomed up? I think he's won the Australian Cup before. I think I read today he beat Jamaica one year. Jamaica was a superstar as well. All right, so that's the Australian Cup for Frame Train on the old boy Humidor. I think you might have chopped out a little bit then when you said the name of it, but it's one for Waller. I think Damien Lane would be on it, wouldn't he? Humidor. Sorry. This must be close to his last racing prep. This might even be his last race. That is not official. I've just made that up, but he is getting old. But I agree. He's over the odds. I got 2 in Melbourne for Saturday, Frame Train. And they're both the Group 1 races. Just sticking fat with the favourite September Run in the Newmarket, race 6, September Run. I think it's race 6. If it reproduces what it did first up in the Lightning Stakes over 1,200, gets the extra 200. There's no betting. I think it's just hands down wins. Been wrong before, but very confident on that. That is a good horse. And I'm going to go against you in the Australian Cup, which we tend to do every week. You're more often right than I am, but I've got it back, and I hear your point about a lot of speed. I'll actually throw one more in there that'll be on speed, and that's our old favourite. Harry Wilson will be stoked with this, Parody. It won at the Peter Young at Caulfield over 1,800 metres and held off a wall of Group 1 horses and had to sort of do it tough on speed, sitting outside the leader. 2,000 metres is probably the query, but it gets barrier 1, Craig Williams. So I reckon he might sit third the fence here. And, maybe with a bit of luck at the top of the straight, Willow can get him out, get her out and, ping for home. So admittedly, it's by no means a good thing, but and $6 is, I think it's about $6. It's probably under the odds, to be fair, given it's where it's come from. I thought the dangers were, I didn't have Humidor in the top 4, although I do respect it. I thought the dangers were among 50 Stars, backing up from last week. Good run behind Star of the Seas. Steel Prince, I thought was over the odds with Jamie Carr. And Shared Ambition, the one that you tipped us into a couple of weeks ago that ran enormous, running second at Caulfield. So I'm going to go with Parody, and hopefully the loyal punters in the Inside Feed Punters Club that have paid off their mortgages on this horse are rewarded again. So 2 bets in Melbourne for me, September Run and Parody. Now, Frame Train, you'll be trackside for Randwick Guineas Day. There is some shed hot racing, and I think you've got 3 or 4 selections for your faithful and your loyal punters. What have you come up with?
Well, we're kicking it off in race 1. Race 1, just quietly, like no easing into the card. Genuine Group 1 horses here. Wild Ruler, Mama Reagan, Doubtland, Andermatt, Vowmaster. There's some quality horse flesh going around for race 1. I'm going to stick with Andermatt that we...
Be rude not to. Be rude not to.
Rude not to. There's some good, don't get me wrong, there's some good horses in this race. It's had the benefit of a run first up. Draws better again, like it did first up against Vowmaster. Vowmaster's the widest runner, and we saw what happened last time when it got that shocking barrier and was out on a limb. I'm hoping Andermatt can kick up on the speed there. Wild Ruler is the favourite, $1.90 full query to it, but I just think that fitness edge, I'm hoping, and the lighter weight, it's a good horse. I'm hoping it can go past Wild Ruler. Doubtland as well, the query, but potentially too short, and first up as well. So, yeah, Andermatt, 480 on play up at the moment. I think it's a great bet.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd be rude not to back that again. I mean, that was one of your great tips. Vowmaster I just saw was 650 into 460. I just don't know where it gets to. It's got the widest barrier again. It's either got to go forward or go back. I think it'll go forward. If it goes forward and gets an easy lead, it can win. But I won't be betting in that race. But I'll be cheering home Andermatt for you again.
Sorry, I was just going to say Mama Reagan's a bit of a query as well, because last prep, they never know what they wanted to do with it. Sometimes it went back, sometimes it went forward. It's drawn immediate inside of Vowmaster, and I think at 1,100 they'll want to go forward on it, given it's probably better over longer. So if it keeps it out, could be a fair bit of speed, and I'm hoping Andermatt as well can get that suck run. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I can see that happening. Have you got anything in the second race?
Yeah, I do. I'm all over profit here.
Okay.
I think this is a golden slipper winner. I think it's going to put them away here. The other favourite, Stay Inside, I think it's better than. It's got better form lines. What's the 2-year-old race that they just brought on a few years ago that it won last start and won by about 8 lengths, beat some quality horses there.
Yeah.
It's been backed. It's been backed. I'm all over Profiteer.
Cool. I was just going to say, if you didn't have a bet, or even if you did, that race is outstanding. Profiteer will go forward. Remark is a quality horse. I reckon it'll sit just in behind the speed. Stay Inside will have to go forward and sit outside the speed, I think. And then you've got like Alpine Edge from Queensland's probably not up to that class, but then Animo that ran third, I think, in a Blue Diamond. That is a cracking race. Todman Stakes race 2. So Frame Train's race 2, number 1, Profiteer. Already good money. Hugh Bowman, barrier 1. Hard not to like.
Yeah. The next one, I'm gonna. I think I'm with you in race 5. If you want to do the preview here.
Yeah. So we have put this on the website today. This is my bet of the day. But it's race 5, Randwick, number 8, Written Beauty for Hawks and Tommy Berry. Now, a bit controversial that we're going against old Nature Strip. But Nature Strip's come up $1.35 or $1.40, and it will have to sit outside. So I think the way the race will go, I think it's going to be a good track in Sydney. So Jungle Edge might even be scratched because it just needs a fucking wet bath. So Eduardo will go forward from barrier 6. Nature Strip will sit outside it. The Odyssey might even sit outside. Like, they're just going to be going hard. Bella Vella could kick up from the inside. Splintex won't be far away. I think Written Beauty is just going to get the gun run in behind all of that shit. And at some point in the straight, if she gets a look at him, I think she can go past. I think really good horse. 650 into 480 already. Tommy Berry on board. I think it's a pretty good bet. Nature Strip vulnerable second up, although he's a champion racehorse. His strike rate 2 from 6 second up, whereas he's 115 from 28 overall. So he's not at his best second up. I think third up, fourth up's his best. He comes into his own. So really keen Written Beauty in the 5th at Randwick.
Also don't think he's the best Randwick horse. I think he got rolled twice last prep at Randwick.
Yeah,
first up, second up. Geetra went past him. Didn't do much in the Everest.
Yeah, good call. So yeah, look, they're tough races, but I mean, he's running around in Everest, but 7 starts at the track for 2 wins. Again, inferior numbers to what he's done across his career. But I mean, you know, he's racing at the top level. So yeah, and look, to be fair, this isn't the strongest race. I just think Written Beauty is. If it was 1100, I wouldn't be backing it, but I just think 1,000 meters, she's just going to get the suck run and just peel off their backs late, and Tommy Berry will be standing up in the saddle and cheering. So Written Beauty.
I reckon Nature Strip will start like it. Surely it can't start at $1.40. Surely it goes $1.80, $1.90, $2, something like that in those last. How could you pile in at $1.40?
If I was a professional punter, I'd be laying it now and then backing it later.
Anyway, boggles the mind.
Yeah, so Written Beauty for both of us. I think you got another one, Frame Train in Sydney.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the favourite in the Randwick Guineas, Aegon. Big call because it's undefeated and it looked pretty good. Looked pretty good last start. But I think it's going to strike a firm track for the first time. And I just think it's one of those things where it probably ran as good as it's going to run last run. Now goes up another couple hundred meters. I think it had a prep. It pretty much did a prep over in New Zealand, came back over here pretty quickly, and then went back down to the 1400. Now back up to the 1600. I just wonder if this is one of those things where, unless it's a fucking freak of a horse, whether it's gonna get there. But I just can't take the 225. I'm prepared to go with Mo'unga. I thought it was huge in its first up run at, was it Flemington or Caulfield down in Melbourne there? I think it was the first way of going that way. No, it wasn't. But it was huge behind Tagaloa and Asar. And I'm prepared. It gets another 200 meters here. It had ridiculous closing sectionals. I'm prepared to have a crack at the $6 that's on offer as opposed to the 225.
Really good call on the firm track for the favourite. Really good call. That's the reason I didn't put it in my tips for the weekend. Yeah, I think just unknown. And at 225 in a Group 1 race, I think it's a bit of a query. So good call, Frame Train. So that was race 7 for the Frame Train. Randwick Guineas, number 7, race 7, number 7, Mo'unga. I'll just quickly zip through my other 2 for the weekend because I want to come back to
Yeah.
No, I just had a thought bubble. I'll come back to that. Race 4, Randwick. I've backed Sacramento the last 3 starts and it's won. So I'm an idiot, but I'm jumping off and I'm going Mount Popper to beat it. So race 4, number 7, Mount Popper. Again, Tommy Berry and Wayne John Michael Hawkes. So if they don't have a good day, I'm fucked. But about the $2.70, probably get about $3. Sacramento will lead. Hopefully Mount Popper sits sort of third the fence. Went across the line with Shan Ambition first up, and it just blew out late. You could see that it wasn't fully fit. If Lizzie Jelfs gives this, or James Frayne gives this a tick in the mounting yard, then I think it's a good thing. But I just want to make sure that it's come on in its condition, which I'm sure it has. So race 4, number 7, Mount Popper. We've done Written Beauty. The other one for me is really clear and obvious. It's race 8, number 1, Bivouac. 1,300 metres, Group 1 race, good race, enough speed in it with Dreamforce, and I thought Masked Crusader would go forward, and Mizzy at huge odds. I think Bivouac here with Bossy on board will be too good. Just run off its legs first up. It's trialled well since. I think you'll get about $3 on the day, maybe 280. So race 8, number 1, Bivouac. The comment I was going to make about the Randwick Guineas is if the favourite is vulnerable, I hear your point on Mwanga. I think it's a good horse. The other one, which I might have $1 each way on or more, is King's Legacy. I've always liked this horse. It's been a little bit disappointing. I mean, Agon beat it 4 lengths first up, but King's Legacy was sort of first up. Draws well here. It's not the worst at about $26. Race 7, number 2, King's Legacy. By no means a good thing, but worth maybe a double, Frano. So that's it, Francho. I've got nothing in Adelaide for the weekend. Adelaide's been really good for me over the last 3 weeks.
I've got one more. Actually, 2 more. Just on your Canterbury Stakes, I reckon Bivouac is the horse to beat, and I will be backing Bivouac. But I'll also be having a saver, maybe a Quinella on the Dreamforce. Quinella on Dreamforce Bivouac. I don't know, like I can just see a world whether they don't go too hard here, and maybe Dreamforce and Samad Out don't go handlebars down, and potentially, like it's happened before, especially with Dreamforce, and potentially it's tough for Bivouac to get over the top of them. So I'm going to have a saver on Dreamforce and a Quinella. In the last, I reckon there's one at odds, which I'm happy to be with, and that's number 7, Rock O'Clock. Watch this first up run. Goes up to a distance that's more suitable for it, gets a drier track, which is a big tick for it. I watched this first up run. I thought it was pretty good. Like, it didn't go past a lot of horses, but it sort of whacked away a bit into 4th, but I just think extra 200 meters, dry track, Randwick, bit bigger. I'm prepared to have a go at the 12 and 370 that's on offer. If you're up by that stage on track and Rocket Clock salutes, I mean, fuck, there'll be a streak going across the winning post at Randwick. You'll be like that bloke in New Zealand. Just to pick apart your bets there, I forgot Samadat will be pace influence in the Canterbury Stakes. Absolutely agree. See, I reckon they'll go pretty hard because Mizzy will go forward as well. I reckon Bivouac, if Bivouac can slot in, it's a moral. I'm with Bivouac. I got it on top, but I like. There's been so many times before where I've seen like Dreamforce in a race, and I'm like, Dreamforce, they'll fly here, and then before you know it, it gets out in front early with the early gate speed, and then just controls it, and it'll do your dough, and you're just like, fucking Dreamforce. So I'm gonna have a saver on it, definitely.
All right, have you put together? You've got about 400 bets this weekend, which is great. Have you put together what you're doing for your best of the weekend?
Yeah, best of the weekend. I'm going to go...
Just while you're stewing over that potentially, Marto sends his love. He's out on the piss again. Best of the weekend for Marto. I think it's race 1 in Brisbane, the Stiffmeister. And he sent me his all-ups. We'll put it on social media. He's going Oxley Road again in Melbourne at Flemington, and Odium first up in Melbourne as well. So there's some multis going on around all those. We'll put them on social media, and Marto might be back next week if he's well behaved. Maybe.
All right, my multi, I'm going to go race 2, number 1, Profiteer into race 7. Race 7, number 7 to place, Mwanga. I'm going to go 50 on that. And I'm going to go 25 each way on Rock O'Clock in the last. So that's number 9, race 9, number 7, 25 each way.
Cool. It's a fill up if that happens. I'm going to go 25 each way. I'm bleeding from the arsehole in this competition, by the way. I think my balance is, I need to go to Cash Converters and get a loan. But I am 25 each way, Master Shahud, race 7, number 1 at Eagle Farm, at about $20 and $4 a place. And I will take a cheeky all up. I think September Run will win. So I'll go September Run, all up, Bivouac, all up, Written Beauty. So I'll go 50 on that. September Run about 230, Bivouac about 280, and Written Beauty say about $5. That'll pay no idea. Maybe 1,500, something like that. So we'll put them up on social media. Frame Train next week. There will be some NRL to have a look at. So we might do a little multi-fest on that as well. In fact, this time next week, as we record this on a Thursday night, the Storm and the Rabbitohs will be playing. I mean, fuck me dead. Unbelievable. Cannot wait. There's Super Rugby this weekend. The Reds have a bye. The Brumbies play the Rebels on Saturday night. The Brumbies, article up on our website. If you've got a firm opinion on this Frame Train, let me know. But I'll take the Brumbies in that one by about sort of 11 to 20. I've tipped them by 15. And I reckon the Friday night game is the Force versus the Waratahs in Sydney. I think it's at Bankwest Stadium. And the Waratahs are officially shit house. So I'll take the Force 1 to 12 in that one. And I think they'll cause... Actually, that might not be an upset because the Waratahs have been that bad. I think the Force will maybe be favourites in that. So Super Rugby, NRL next week, AFL the week following. Shitloads of great horse racing. It's a good time to be alive. Frame Train. Anything else that we're missing? You're down in Sydney.
I'm down in Sydney. I think the Aussies play the Kiwis in the T20 on Friday night. And then I think they play something like Sunday, 9 o'clock in the morning, so they can get on the plane and get back out of there. So if you're waking up with a sore head Sunday, just flick the cricket on.
Cricket, and then Sunday afternoon, I think it might be the Crusaders versus the Hurricanes. So, if you're hungover on Sunday, which most of the population will be, it's a fucking great day. Apart from that, plenty of other news going on. Rape cases in Parliament. Michael Gudinski dying. Looks a bit like you, Frone. But that's not for this show. We'll do that another time. Right, Frone, try and enjoy your Sydney trip. You're going to, based on what's happening here on all these bets, you're getting a private charter home. So safe travels. And we'll be back next week for a fuckload more winners.
Thanks, Trav.